All right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending where you are. I'm Cesar Trabanco. I'm part of the Global Chamber headquarter team. Some people call me the master connector. I try. I try to help that way, but sometimes I find myself moderating these events, which I find very valuable to learn more about our members and to have others helping them. That's really the main goal, is to have some collaboration and find some connection for our members, so get it they get even more value from the global chamber. Today I want to spotlight a couple members. It's a small group today, so if time allows, we're probably gonna end up doing a small roundtable. But I would like to start with Leon Pereira from Yamada Consulting Group, a member of Global Chamber in New York City and Singapore, and who's an expert in market research, M&A, um, solutions, and a lot more. And Leon, if you can tell us a little bit more about yourself, about what the company is doing, perfect clients for you, and why not a bit more about Singapore and the whole Asia Pacific region that you might have some expertise and can enlighten us on that.
Thank you very much, Susan. Thanks very much, Doug, and everyone here, crew, Indira, Nomi, for joining today. So yeah, I don't have any slides, so I'm just going to talk directly to the group. My story is that I founded a market research and strategy consulting company in headquartered in Singapore, but we grew that to 100 people in 10 countries, mainly in the Asia Pacific region. So I did that actually in the year 2000. Uh, and that's 26 years ago, almost to the day, April 19th. So that's coming up on the weekend. So that's 26 years ago, almost to the day. And then I sold that company to Yamada Consulting 10 years ago, again, almost to the day, April 15th, which was 2 days ago. So I've been really part of the company that is owned by Yamada Consulting Group really for 10 years. And my role in the company has pivoted a little bit away from the market research and strategy consulting business, but I'm still conversant with that, and I can talk about that. But I'm really focusing more on what in the US is called investment banking. So we do middle market, cross-border investment banking. So we have investment banking teams, deal execution and deal origination teams on the ground in the US, Europe, Asia, and Japan. We have 1,000 people in Japan, 200 now in Asia. And in Europe, we own 10% of the Clearfield network, which is a mid-market investment bank in Europe, present in all the European countries. We have about 20 people in the US, mostly in LA. And my role right now is really to originate deals. So I'm looking for US companies who want to sell the business or want to take in minority investors. So these would be generally more mature companies rather than startups. We have a few startup deals that are more venture capital type deals, but I think that's not really the core focus, although I do have some conviction-driven kind of startup deals that I'm working on, just a handful. But mostly sort of more mature companies where you have a business that is stable and healthy, and the owner wants to retire, or it could be a private equity scenario where the private equity company wants to sell the business after 5 years or 7 years or 8 years or whatever it is, having turned it around or having grown it. So we can operate with those kinds of transactions. We can bring buyers in from the US. We have a domestic investment bank in LA called Takanaka and Partners that we acquired about 2 years ago. And they have about 35 years of track record in the US doing mid-market deals. We can also bring in investors from Europe, from Asia, from Japan into those deals. And I am very close to closing a buy-side mandate, my first US buy-side mandate. So we have a US company that wants to acquire companies in Asia, Europe, Canada, Mexico, Australia, New Zealand. These are sort of full-service accounting firms or CFO as a service companies that they're looking to acquire. So we also do in the other direction as well. So I think that's probably enough about me and Yamada. I think Cesar, you also asked about the Singapore and Asia Pacific region and what's going on there. I think it's a time of change and time of a lot of uncertainty. So there are many Asian countries that are very dependent on imported energy, oil, liquefied natural gas. So Thailand in particular, I think Philippines, are countries which are very, very dependent on energy imports. So I think inflation is an issue right now. So it's a time for policy recalibration on the part of the governments to kind of figure out how those economies are going to grow. I think looking beyond just energy, it's in many of the Asian countries are facing challenges in terms of aging society, and uh, and the challenge there is really how to stimulate innovation and entrepreneurship in order to combat the slowdown effects of an aging society. So Singapore certainly is facing that. Japan, to some extent, Taiwan, Korea, Hong Kong are grappling with that longer term issue. So the governments in those countries are working very hard to try to uh, develop domestic entrepreneurship and to grow local companies to become global companies. Here in New York, for example, in the Global Chamber New York, we had a nice meeting with Enterprise Singapore, which is the government arm of Singapore in New York that's trying to help Singapore companies to grow in the US. And they recently opened up in Austin, Texas as well. They had a new branch. They've got 3 people in New York, one guy in Austin, and a couple of people in LA and San Francisco as well. And the Malaysians are doing that as well with Martrade, UAE. We had a good meeting with them in New York as well. The Consul General's team in New York City. So I think that's one of the things that are sort of going on in the Asia Pacific region. But I think maybe just to conclude, and we can probably make it more interactive. But maybe the last thing I'll mention is that Asia still has about maybe 55% of the global population. Tremendous middle class, tremendous consumer base. Uh, um, a lot going on in terms of technology and innovation. Um, so it's a very important region that no global company can ignore, obviously. So love to have more conversations and really work with more companies who are keen on the Asia Pacific region. Yeah, I think maybe I'll leave it there, Susan.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Leon. Any questions or comments for Leon? Doug, you raise your hand.
Thank you, Leon. Do you have either a revenue range and or certain types of technologies or companies or other parameters that would allow us to be a little more specific in terms of what would be a good fit for you? Growth rate, or are there other parameters that you look at that are important?
Well, we are focusing on deals with companies that have around, if I were to pick the sweet spot, 30 million of EBITDA, 30 million of profit before tax. So what that translates into revenue would really depend, but really you're talking, I guess, about 50 to 100 million. So that's the sweet spot. It doesn't mean that we don't do deals that are smaller than that. We do. So we can work with companies that are 5 million, 10 million EBITDA as well, 10 million profit, 5 million profit. But the sweet spot is really about 30 million profit. And I think to be a little bit more specific, we do have pretty much a buy side mandate right now. We're doing up the paperwork. We are looking globally for boutique full service accounting firms that do audit, that do tax work, particularly companies that have an international flavor. And we're ideally looking for companies with maybe 10 to 50 employees, that sort of boutique size and profile. And we are doing the search in Canada, Mexico, Europe, Asia Pacific, Australia, and New Zealand. So if anyone has any, and we're always happy to collaborate, co-bank, co-broke on transactions. so on with parties. In fact, most of my work here in the US is really drawing potential deals from the M&A ecosystem rather than going out companies myself, which is very, very difficult. Although I'm trying to do that as well. But I mean, really, I'm working with other investment banks, working with valuation companies, accountants, lawyers. Lawyers are very important in the US.
When you mentioned about I don't remember exactly the wording that you used, but some interest in Asia is what came out in my head. So I'm wondering, would it be, for instance, a U.S. company that hasn't really fully exploited the opportunity in Asia? Would that be part of the formula that would be more interesting for you, or does that even matter?
That would be, yes. So we do both directions. So we bring in Japanese Asian investors into US companies. We also take US investors and bring them to Asia. So I think if you have a US company that is strong and healthy and has a good business model, but they are under-present in Asia, they don't have much of a presence, or maybe just through partners or distributors, they want to enhance, increase their presence. They want to grow out their own team, greenfield. They want to acquire companies, possibly. So we are, the ideal partners for that. We can
Okay.
provide market research, consulting, M&A, business partner matching, all of that. We have people on the ground, Southeast Asia, China, India, Japan, Korea. So yeah.
Cool. Did you already talk to Steve Nikokiris about that Japan US event that we're doing and getting involved in that? Does that ring a bell?
I am in touch with Steve. I don't think I've talked about that event. That sounds
Okay.
interesting.
So it was going to be at Japan House in LA, and the timing's not going to work for what we had planned. So we're doing it somewhere else. And so I'll circle back with you and Steve on that.
Okay. Yeah,
But
that would be great. I mean,
you should be.
both our team is in LA and I could fly in. So
Yeah, there's no conflict with CBiz, right? It's you guys are working together, and it's all good.
no conflict at all.
Yeah.
No conflict.
Cool. Thanks. And I can attest that the years and years ago, I visited your office in Singapore. Are you still there, or do you still have an office in the tower?
I think when you visited us, we were in the Singapore Stock Exchange Tower, SGX.
Yeah.
So we moved out of that to 78 Shenton Way, which is very near one of the ports.
Yeah.
But still in the central business. We moved out in 2008, and we were there for a very long time. And then we are right now moving office. I mean, literally right now, to another building, but it's kind of just next door. It's
I see.
almost exactly the same place. And I think it's kind of streamlining the real estate footprint, which a lot of professional service companies are doing. And we probably should have done it some time ago, because a lot of people are working from home. You don't need such a big office space anymore. You can hot desk. So yeah, and I think I maintained a room in the company for really 26 years, and I don't have one now, and no one has.
Wow. Okay. It's a new world.
It's a new world. It's a new world.
So thank you, Doug. And Leon, any particular industries that you've been working closely, or I bet you can work any across industries, but is there any particular examples you can provide that are recent success stories?
Yeah, we are industry agnostic, but if I were to pick out a few, I would say food related. So that would be food processing, food distribution, food logistics, restaurants, food and beverage. So that's one big bucket. I think anything construction related is another one. So building materials, subcontractors. These are all that's a sector with a lot of strong Japanese and Asian companies that want to expand globally. I would say logistics is another one, because there's been a lot of consolidation going on in the logistics space. So freight forwarding, warehousing, 3PL, third-party logistics, apparel. So Yamada has had quite a lot of success in the apparel space. We were the sell side advisor for a $1.4 billion deal 3 years ago, where we sold a Japanese apparel maker to Bain Capital, private equity firm. And we recently did a deal in the US where we represented the buy side. We represented Wacol. So Wacol is a Japanese, quite a well-known company, you may have heard of it. So they make women's underwear. That's what they're famous for. And they acquired a company in the US. So we were advisors to that deal as well. So yeah, those are some of the sectors that come to mind. But really, we can do pretty much anything. And I did mention, accounting, tax advisory. So I'm working on a deal right now, which is really that space, professional services.
Professional, yeah, yeah, cool, perfect. Any other questions or comments? And if not, Leon, just make sure you leave your contact details in the chat, so
Oh,
people
yeah, let me do that.
can connect with you for sure. All right, so I would like to then move to Indira Jeffrey. Indira is our executive director in Global Chamber Guanajuato, Central Mexico, but she's also part of the ASU, part of the global operations of ASU. And so Indira, I think it's been years. So it would be great to hear from you and get an update on the different things you're working on.
I know. Thank you. Thank you so much, Cesar. It's just a pleasure to be here. Actually, I miss it. Hi, Doc. How are you? Doc and I, we go back to 2015, I think. So,
I think
but
before
yeah,
that, it was
before, right?
yeah, because I remember that event you did at Crown year that was around that time.
Oh my
Before.
goodness. Yes, yes, that was way back. And I think I disappeared from the Global Chamber for, maybe 3 years, but it's been so crazy.
Well, you were running
Always.
for office, and so you've been busy. You just got an award. I saw that. That was amazing. Where is your office now?
Well, right now I'm at home because I'm working from home.
Okay.
And, it's not, well, right now I don't need an office. It's just like Leon, everything is on remote and there's no need. But, hi everyone, Indira Jeffrey. I am the adjunct director for the Global Chamber in Guanajuato, Mexico, but I reside in Phoenix, Arizona, Chandler, Arizona. And like Doug and Cesar said, I work for ASU for the Global Operations areas. I'm the associate director. But also I have consulting business, a global business consulting. And what we do, we are a strategic consulting firm focused on business development, business alignment, and growth. Also, we serve entrepreneurs, startups, and scaling organizations. Some of the problems that we solve is lack of clear business structure, difficulty aligning mission with execution, limited knowledge of compliance and operations in the US and in Mexico because we serve Mexico and the US. And also sometimes, when you are overwhelmed during the startup or scaling your business phases. Also, what makes us different is that we do end-to-end business consulting. We provide a strategy and execution. We provide personalized services and hands-on approach. And we are focused on sustainable and scalable growth. If you have any needs regarding business in Mexico, we have very good connections. My brother Arturo Samarripa, he is the director in Guanajuato, and we can help you either to set up, companies in Mexico, setting up companies here, mostly LLCs. We can get EIN numbers for you, licensing, and help you with legal structure. Also, we can help you with market analysis. We can do some growth roadmap for your business here in the US and in Mexico, brand development, operational setup, and business alignment, as I mentioned before. Why you should choose us? Because we have more than 25 years of combined experience, background in global operations, finance, and banking, and international program management. What else? We work with entrepreneurs, starting a business, small businesses ready to scale, nonprofits seeking structure and sustainability in the US, and women and minority-led ventures. Regarding nonprofit, I have a nonprofit. I've been working on that for 2 years. It's called Mujeres Latinas Unidas Foundation, Women United. Latin Women United is based in here in Chandler, Arizona. And right now we have a network of 28,000 plus women. So we are open to, speak to any of you to provide our insights about business here in the United States and business in Mexico and Latin America, as I also have experience working in Peru and in Chile. So if you have any questions, please let me know. Arturo, you would like to add anything else?
Hello, everybody. Wow, what an amazing opportunity to have an experience with you guys. Hi, Doug. I mean, it's been amazing. I've seen Doug and Cesar lately in some events, and I think we are taking more time to introduce us and to help members and to keep growing our chapter. Uh, As you mentioned, everything perfectly, India. Thank you very much. Well, just to present myself, I am here in Guanajuato, and it's a great place to look for businesses related to aircraft manufacturing, perhaps medical supplies manufacturing, a lot of agriculture, even though the agriculture right now is going through a little bit of trouble, but it's something that's essential. So please, if you have any other business that you'd like to inquire in, please reach out, and we are here to help.
Do you have any questions?
Thank you, Indira, and thank you, Arturo. India, are you still involved with the ASU? Is
Yes.
that part of what you're doing? And then
Yeah.
can you tell us more about what you're doing with the university?
Well, it's amazing what I do. Well, I love what I do. I work with the Knowledge Enterprise unit, that is the unit for research and development. And what I do, I provide all kind of help for the researchers that go to other countries to work on their projects. So I hire for them employees at other countries. If they need, let's say, a location, I look for the location. I help on providing insurance, travel insurance services, life insurance, security services. And also I work on some specific projects, like, for example, I oversee a project very interesting in Mexico. We have laboratory research in Mexico City at the Teotihuacan area. So it's part of what I do. And I help on projects, mostly as a like project management, because it is a lot of going on right now at Arizona State University. And when there is something related to compliance, to risk management, to what else? Procurement. I get involved in those kind of projects. So yes. Doug, do you have a question?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
I meant to ask Arturo, the doctorate that you're working on, that's on cross-cultural work. Is that correct? And are you looking to build that into a business? So that was my one question. And then would love to hear from both of you your perspective on how things are going in Guanajuato and Mexico generally, economically. What should we know about the economy there and opportunities? Sorry for too many questions.
No, well, no, don't worry, Doug. It's always nice to be a part of the Global Chamber community. Well, I am a university professor. I am specialized in language teaching, but my doctorate is on language studies, and I am trying to find out what are the problems that university students, migrant returnees university students are having while they are adjusting into the higher level education in Mexico, because we have a lot of returnees because of the situation that's going on with the politics of President Trump. So as we have this large community that's coming back, they are trying to get into the university, and they are finding themselves in a big problems because they don't have the education level necessary to compete at the university level. So we have a big problem, and that's what I'm working on. Regarding the opportunities here in Mexico, the economy right now seems to be having a little bit of problem because of the prices, the oil prices that are rising up. It's more expensive all of a sudden, and that just has to interfere with the prices of the vegetables, like tomatoes, like onions. The price is just way, way, way up right now. So perhaps trying to find those products in other countries and import those products will be an opportunity that I can see right now. And also some manufacturing like car parts, like GM or Toyota are having problems also because the restrictions that again we in Mexico are finding because of the politics in the US have a lot to do with the prices, and a lot of people are like getting laid off, or having to find other source of income. But there is always help that we can like look for in other countries, like as I mentioned, to import those products.
Yeah, there
And
is always opportunities, right?
yes, and the Global Chamber, I think, is in a great spot right now because this is where we can find those opportunities. So that's my report, Doug. And we're trying to definitely get in touch with Cesar. I'm gonna ask him to have a little bit of time so we can maybe schedule some events and trying to get more people involved in the Guanajuato chapter.
That sounds
Yeah,
good. We'll be happy to help. How is President Sheinbaum doing, Indira? What's your perspective from a business standpoint?
yes, I think she is, having some challenges because of the divided political society we have, left and right, as well as in the United States. And she is trying to create new avenues. And, like, for example, everybody says that it is coming like a social country, but it is just, for example, she's trying to help the one that are more in need, like providing some income for them, from the government type of like we have here. What do we have? The money that they give them, when you don't have income. I don't remember. Access, I think is the name. She is, really thinking out of the box, but at the same time, she is going against the normal, used to be. Like, for example, right now, we have in Mexico an stable microeconomic environment. We are depending still on the U.S. economy, and also regarding like security and regulatory uncertain remains uncertain because of our relationship with the U.S. And also, we had the NAFTA agreement, and right now it is nothing about that agreement, trade agreement between the U.S. and Mexico and Canada, because there is the trade policy is uncertain right now. Still, security and logistics costs, like Arturo says, rising due to crime. There is still crime in Mexico, a lot. What else? And Claudia, the president, she's trying to continue the policies from the previous president, Andrés López Obrador, but she is trying to get stronger on approach, like, for example, on security enforcement. And that is causing a lot of issues with the population. Still a lot of homicides. They are decreasing, but still. And in some of the areas, some of the poor areas in Mexico, still, like violence. That's what I can say right now.
Okay. The NAFTA came into effect in 1994, and then that was replaced by USMC, I think, in 2020.
Oh, yeah.
And it's now up for renewal in July 1st of this year. And so we just held an event yesterday to talk about that with some experts, and we actually have May 21st, and in June, the third Thursday, we have a third session on USMCA because it's so important for all three countries, as you know. So if you want to learn more, any of you want to learn more, sign up for the event we did yesterday and get the recording. That'll be out next week. That was a great conversation with New York, Texas, Los Angeles, and Phoenix experts speaking. And then the next one is May 21st. Very critical for Mexico, that agreement. It'll probably be delayed past July 1st, but fundamentally, it likely the gist of the conversation was that it will be renewed. It likely will not turn into two binational agreements, that it will stay one agreement. That was the consensus, but the actual changes to it will take a few more months past July 1st. So that's the upshot of what was discussed yesterday. Thanks.
Yeah, some of the data that I have, and you're right, it's very interesting because between the three countries, the trade annually is $2 trillion. And so it's a lot.
Yeah, in
But
1994, it was about $250 billion. It's gone up by a factor of
a
in
lot. It's a lot of money just
first.
going. Yeah.
It fundamentally, I was in Detroit at the time working for DuPont, and 1994 was my first year back in the US from Japan. And it fundamentally changed everyone's perspective of a mega region and the interactions across the border. So there's no question that all three countries, there's a general consensus that it's needed and it should happen. There is agreement that the person in the White House is going to make the final agreement, and that's unpredictable. However, from the experts, they do believe that ultimately it will be redone with probably less favorable uh, terms for Mexico, because there's a belief that Mexico has too much in the agreement, and also that dairy farmers in the U.S. will be more favored than they are today, where they're somewhat disadvantaged versus Canadian dairy farmers, which was part of the USMCA original agreement, and a few other adjustments, particularly protecting against Chinese investment that might
Mhm.
come in through Mexico or into Canada, into the U.S. So rules around product of origin, source of origin, things like that. But generally, the good news is probably it'll be renewed. Fingers crossed.
I hope so.
Right. Thank you, Indira and Arturo again. We have Andre, and Andre is on and off, so he will let me know if he comes back. For the moment, let's do a quick roundtable. If the rest can introduce yourself for 1 or 2 minutes, that would be great. And I would like to start with Noemi Carreta, new member, directly from Barcelona, Spain, and who is in the HR business recruiting globally. And Noemi, welcome, bienvenida. Feel free to introduce yourself and tell us more what you're doing.
Thank you. Thank you. Nice to meet you all. So it's a pleasure to be here to enter in the Global Chambers. So I'm Nami Caretta, I'm Italian, and I'm based in Barcelona. And our company, Management in Red, is based in Buenos Aires. Yeah, we are a recruitment company recruited with migration process. So we work with all the candidates, all the company all around the world. We are looking for candidates in the right part of the world in the all sector. We work with the small, medium company in tech sector, medical sector, engineer, especially with developer and other kind of technologies. So we work in recruitment, the normal recruitment for person in remote or presential roles, and with outsourcing or team extension. So especially in sector like cybersecurity, UX, UR, graphic design, motion, product design. So we provide a service like outsourcing company. And we work with all recruited that we speak most than one language, Spanish, of course, Italian, English, and that's all. Thank you. Really happy to be in this organization. Thank you all.
Um, Grazie, Ami. Thank you, Ami. Krum, welcome directly from Bulgaria.
Hello, my name is Krum and I am from Bulgaria, one small country in Europe, Southeastern Europe. We are producer of food supplements, herbal extracts, phytotidies, and enzymes. Our factory have 30 years history, and we produce 100% organic and clean natural products from Bulgarian wild herbs. So our products is very products with very high potential everywhere in the world, because how you know, most of the products are chemicals. So we are looking to find new partner all over the world, and to sell more quality products in the world. We're looking for distributors, fitness distributors, athletics distributors, gym stores are big target group, and also medical. So I'm okay like meeting if someone interesting.
Thank you, Krum.
Thank you very much.
Tamer Flores, bienvenido. Any connections in the athletic world in Peru or Latin America for Krum? Tamer, are you there? Oh, it seems he's not listening. All right, let's move to Basil. Basil Lemba. Welcome, Basil.
Welcome. Thank you. Thank you. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Very good. Thank you. My name is Basil. We help companies get the exact client they want and make more money. How do we do that? We discover that there is a sequence in getting clients. It is networking, 1, 2, promotion, and 3, sales. Most companies worldwide know about sales, they know about promotion, but they never had networking as a science. So we codify networking. So now companies can easily move in, do the networking, do the promotion, and do the sales. And as a result, they easily get more clients. The people who are coming to us the most are CEOs of companies, having sales teams or having executive teams. Because we bring that knowledge to them, it makes their life way more easy in dealing with other people, be it within the organization or with their clients. Again, my name is Basil Lemba, and I'm with the BL Networking Institute. Very nice, very happy to be here today with you. Thank you.
Thank you, Basil. And I had the pleasure to be through Basil's class, and I highly recommend. So if you know anyone that has, as he mentioned, large sales teams, like even if it's very multicultural, because it's just really very interesting class, and they will learn a lot. Thanks, Basil. Good to see
My
you.
pleasure. Same here. Thank you.
Marisa Ortiz. Marisa, are you there? Are you able to say a few words? And if not, then let's move to Demetrius. Demetrius Evan. Demetrius, are you there?
I am here. Hi, let me find where my little markers are. Um, am I on camera? Okay, hi there, everybody. Just getting into my office. I popped in for a little bit and got to hear some of the other speakers, and always impressed with everyone in the global tribe. So, I am attorney Demetrius Evans. I have two roles just here today. I am the chair for the advisory board for GC Chicago. And as advisory chair, we are right now, we are looking for speakers for August, dynamic speakers that can move us into our women's event that we will be having. So if you have any ideas you'd like to talk to me about that, please let me know. My daytime role is the managing attorney of the Evans International Business Law Firm, where I do practice international compliance work, and I work with those who are coming from overseas to the United States and basically through Illinois. We are Chicago land based, and I help them to set up the proper structure to protect their intellectual property, that's trademarks, copyrights, and patents in the US. And I can supply any kind of compliance gaps that I'm seeing. We are right now, the Evans International Law Firms, affectionately known as TEAL firms, we are launching in early May a GS a GSP app. So we are looking for those who are trying to measure socially, right? In your supply chain, do you know if you're compliant? Do you know the work standards, and do you have audits in place? And do you have, even would you know if you were called upon to answer some regulation about it? So that's what I've been up to. Thank you for giving me this time, Cesar. I'll hand it back over to you.
I have a quick question for you, Demetrius. Are you
Yes.
looking for the speaker in person or online?
We would like to have someone in in person for August. But thank you so much though for that question, because we are always looking for people who are interested to speak, especially if it has something we can connect Chicago. But we also look at, like, I'm going to look at very closely an issue in June, because I'll be going over to Zambia. And so I'm very interested in the rare earth minerals. So somewhere around the end of June, we'll be looking to have speakers that have some expertise on that topic. That's, copper and cobalt and of course lithium, but in anything that involves that.
Okay. Understood. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you,
Good to see you,
Demetrius.
Fidel.
Same
Have
here,
you
man.
had the chance to meet Leon Pereira, our first speaker today, Demetrius?
I was on, but no, I have not had an opportunity to connect. I'd love to do a virtual coffee.
Definitely connect for Leon for any business deals there in Illinois. Demetrius is the person, no doubt.
Yes, I'd love to connect. Yeah, maybe we can link up on LinkedIn.
Excellent. Tamer, I think you're back. Should we try?
Yes, yes. Sorry for that. I had some technical issues here, but just wanted to say hello to all. As you know, my name is Tamer Flores. I am founder of BizDeglo, stands for Business Development Global Consulting, and what I do is I help companies establish themselves from other countries into the USA and from the USA into other countries. So I have connected with Demetrius before. Hi, Demetrius. I might want to talk to you again. And I also have two other things that I do. I also match startups with their ideal investors. And I have an application that I have created for that. And it works really well. So it can help any startup find funds. And the last thing I do is I recently have started speaking, and I have a speech that is for international expansion, and I have another one that is named Follow Principles, Not People. And that is a very interesting thought leadership about not labeling yourself, but actually being an independent thinker. So maybe Dimitrios is interested in that. I'll send her a message there. And if you guys are looking for anything related to helping companies, because I do it on the strategic commercial part, right? And Dimitrios is, for example, the legal part. And I can create the strategy for and the best the roadmap for a company to establish in the USA. And if you know of any company that needs that or needs from the USA to go anywhere else, I'm your person. I also specialize in Latin America because I'm from Peru. And I heard Peru name before, a few minutes ago. I can help also with that because I have many contacts there. So that's it for now. Thank you, Cesar, for the time.
Thank you, Tamer. And Noemi is from Italy, and I believe you got some expertise, or you lived in Italy, right?
Me? Sorry?
No, Tamer, you lived in Italy, I think, or you know Italian, or you have done business there.
Correct. I lived in Italy, so that's another one of my interesting markets. I speak Italian still very well, and so I have a good clients in Italy, in Spain and UK and Australia. So, but if you sometimes they want to actually put me inside a box. And if you do that, I'm a Latam guy and Italy guy. Yes.
Okay. So, okay.
Mhm.
We can
Thank
connect,
you.
of course. Thank you.
Yes.
Awesome.
Thank you.
All right, thanks, Tamer. Then Nikhil from India. Nikhil, are you able to say a few words?
A very good day to all. My sincere apologies. I just got off kind of a late dinner. It's almost 10 o'clock here in the night. And thank you so much. I jumped in late, just hardly 10, 15 minutes ago. I'm an international business advisor. I work with global governments, foreign governments, especially the American, the French, the German, the British, Australian, and I work to promote bilateral ties, trade ties between India and all the countries across the world, including South America. I also help companies gain sales results, no theory, only implementation. We set up targets, say $1 million, 1 million pounds, $5 million. We set up targets, and in a calendar year, we achieve those targets in terms of sales, in terms of inquiries, which we then convert with the help of the promoters and directors. And I mean, at the end of the day, we are all here to make some money. So that's where my clients come from. I have clients not just in Asia, but also in Europe and the Oceania region. Yeah, thank you so much for this opportunity, Mr. Cesar. Thank you.
Cesar, you want to say a word about Globi?
About Globi? Yeah, sure. So Globi is, and thank you, Nikhil. So I was on mute when I say thank you. So the Globi is an AI platform that is helping us to better to find better connections for our members. So it is an AI tool that we feed with the whole Globi form. Actually, I'm gonna share the Globi form here because Leon, I noticed that you haven't filled it out. For instance, I was taking notes and it was empty, that whole area. So it's a form that we asked a lot of questions. But the intention and the idea is that when we ask the AI, known as Globi, we get best responses and better connection for our members. And so far, it's been used for HQ only, because it's not ready for the whole membership. We still need to do a lot of work on the data. But yeah, that's Global.
Okay.
And I would like to. I put a message in the chat summarizing yesterday's League of Opportunity. So I put their contact details there. And just would like to summarize a little bit. Ben Salavaggi from XE. Ben was actually supposed to speak today, but something came up and he wasn't able to join. So, but I just chatting here about how they work with FX transfers, and they have opportunity for Global Chamber members. I put the link there, so if any of you either need FX foreign exchange solutions or know someone who might need, feel free to share or use that link. You get preferential access and rate for Global Chamber members. We had yesterday Ricardo Casain with Go Ocean Logistics. He has a very niche market on shipping cars or trucks, technically any type of vehicles from the US to around the world. So very interesting. He's implementing technology to have better solutions for his clients. We have Armando Mendoza from Alpha Group in Mexico. They're a conglomerate. They have different. I learned they even have restaurants, but the main topic he spoke on was on the HR area, like in the staffing solutions. They help manufacturing firms, mainly in the U.S., to get workers from Mexico that are engineers, and so that's the main focus within the Global Chamber for them. Stephanie Gross from Bombay Wool in Alberta, Canada. She has a high-end wool fashion brand, selling in Canada and US, looking to expand. She's also working on circular fashion solutions, very interested around the world to find partners in that topic. And then JV, Jean-Baptiste Deal from Deal Negotiations Institute. He's a French in Hong Kong that is an expert in deal and negotiations, and I've wrote a couple of books, and so again, great guy. But for the Europe Asia type of conversations, he's amazing. And then finally, Crystal Fan is a member in LA that she's a product development expert. She has helping us with Globi, and she's helping us with the platform, and she's also working on her own platform and asking members for support with feedback. So I put the link there as well. Just wanted to summarize a little bit of what happened yesterday in case it brings any interest for any of you. Thanks again, Leon, Indira, Arturo, and everyone else. Doug, the last word is yours.
Be global and unstoppable. Have a great Friday and a great weekend. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you very
Thanks.
much,
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you,
Have a great
Doc.
weekend.
Bye.
Ciao a tutti.
Ciao.